We have a serious problem. We all know that you can make money by providing a solution to a problem. And the bigger the problem, the bigger the income potential. So, what's a big problem that needs to be solved? The overweight and obesity epidemic. It's big, and it's getting bigger. 52% of adults worldwide are overweight, and the UK is now the fattest country in Western Europe, with 64% of adults in the UK overweight or obese. That's 33 million people, right here, right now. But being overweight is not just about appearance. There's a lot more at stake. This big problem is costing us all a lot. It's costing us our money and our quality of life. Look, being overweight is linked to type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, joint and back problems, cancer, and many other diseases, leading to lower life expectancy and a poor quality of life. It's time for change. The obesity and chronic disease crisis costs people and governments too much. In the UK, it costs us £54 billion a year. And yet, tragically, no government in the world has a comprehensive strategy to deal with these huge health and financial challenges. What's the answer? Well, it's certainly not more of the same, because the old failed approaches simply don't work. Fad diets and short-term fixes may give temporary results, but they create even greater problems for the future. And the nation keeps getting fatter and sicker. So what is the solution? A $4 billion corporate giant has opened a new health division called Zen Project 8. Zen Project 8 is positioned in the $3.7 trillion global wellness market. The $3.7 trillion global wellness market is over 3 times larger than the $1.1 trillion worldwide pharmaceutical industry. For opportunity, that's the place to be. And what is the fastest growing segment within this massive health and wellness market? It's healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss, which has grown from $276 billion to $648 billion in annual sales. Announcing the end of diets. Zen Project 8 is a revolutionary new health-building system that balances your body, giving health, energy, and fat loss with no hunger or cravings. You can enjoy life to the full and never need to diet again. You get to eat the foods you love in conjunction with Zen cutting-edge nutrition products. Your body will balance naturally, you won't feel hungry, and you'll lose excess fat. Around the world, thousands of people are now slimmer, fitter, and healthier thanks to the simple Zen system. Created by internationally renowned nutritionist, health expert, and New York Times best-selling author Mark McDonald, and featured on international television, Zen Project 8 is sweeping the world. In every country open to Zen, people are having success. Huge product demand, powerful financial backing, and a very profitable business model all combine to offer an unmatched opportunity to entrepreneurial individuals. Now it's coming to the UK. That's where you come in. As a Zen brand representative, you can position yourself in front of this fast-growing trend. You can develop a solid business and create high income with all the support and backing of the fastest-growing direct sales company in the world. People today are more educated than ever before. They're fed up with hype. With Zen Project 8, you can offer something new and different that delivers long-term results. Your message is in tune with people's underlying desire for honesty, integrity, and real results. The desire for a new, different way to lose weight and stay healthy is massive. People are looking for answers, and that's exactly where your opportunity lies. Showing people how to get what they want. Out of the 33 million overweight people in the UK, do you think you could find a few who want to lose weight and be healthy? It's that simple to start a successful Zen business. Everything you need is at hand right now. Don't let this moment pass. To find out more, click the button below now.
Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Cliff Walker. I'm your host and presenter for today's live Zen Project 8 Whole Story webinar. And I'd like to start by firstly congratulating you. Congratulations for being here. You're here because you want to explore the possibilities that exist for you to participate in and financially benefit from the launch of Zen Project 8 in the UK. And I'm here to simply give you some information, to share with you some information that will enable you to make a decision as to whether or not you can see some possibilities for yourself. Now, as we get started, we know that one of the key questions in business is the question of timing. Is the timing right for this new opportunity or this new project? In fact, if we look at successful business people, what we find is many of them put their success down to being in the right place at the right time. Now, I would suggest there's a little bit more to being successful than just being in the right place at the right time, but certainly the timing is an important factor. So what is the timing like for Zen Project 8? Well, we only have to look at the newspapers. This is a recent headline from the Daily Mail, and you can read it. It says, Obesity Britain, how 2/3 of us are overweight. That's 2 out of every 3 people in the UK. Right now, that represents about 33 million people. And you see, we have a solution to address this obesity epidemic that's sweeping the country. And with Zen Project 8, you have an opportunity to be part of the solution. And I'm hoping that that headline, Obesity Britain, spells something else to you as it does to me, and that is financial opportunity. Because for those people who can see the opportunity and can see the possibilities, there's certainly a financial opportunity here. Those of you who don't know me, let me give you a little bit of my background. I'm Cliff Walker, as I said. I'm an ex-corporate executive. I used to work for the largest drinks company, worked internationally for that company. And then when I left the corporate world, I became managing director of a consultancy practice. And as a management consultant, I was asked to research the direct-to-consumer business model. And in fact, I've now been more than 20 years full-time in direct sales. I'm recognized both as an industry leader and a trainer, and I'm actually a 7-figure annual income earner in the direct sales industry. I've been featured on Modest to Millions, an internet TV show, Net Millionaire Buzz Radio, an internet radio show, a number of podcasts, and also I'm a contributing author to The Ultimate Guide to Network Marketing. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm certainly not telling you this to try and impress you. I'm sharing this information so that you understand that you're hearing from someone who's been in the very same place that you're in. I was in that place of looking for an alternative, and that's where you find yourself, I guess, right now. And I've been there, I've had some success, and so as I say, I'm sharing this information so you know you're getting information from someone who's been in the same position that you're in, worked at it, had some success, and I can tell you that I'm also here to support those of you that can see the possibilities and want to move forward. What are we going to cover on today's webinar? Well, first and foremost, of course, we're going to explore exactly what Zen Project 8 is, what makes it different from anything else that's out there in the UK market. We're going to look at the size of the opportunity in the UK. We've already touched on that with the headline from the Daily Mail and the 33 million people that are overweight in the UK, but we'll also explore the $5 billion company behind Zen. You see, this is exciting because this is a new opportunity in the UK, but it's not a startup. There's a $5 billion successful company behind this, and that is a global opportunity for us to capitalize on. We'll be looking at how Zen Project 8 works. More importantly, we'll be touching on how it's already working for thousands of people around the world. And of course, we're going to touch on how you make money. We're not going to get into the detail of how you make money, but we certainly want to give you an idea of how you make money with Zen Project 8. I'll be touching on as well the training and support that you'll receive from our team. That's the Global Home Business team. That's free of charge. And of course, we'll be touching at the end of this webinar on what you need to do to get started. But let's start with a question. Why consider developing a second income? Why consider building your own home-based business? Well, what I'd like to do now is share with you 3 simple concepts that will hopefully help you understand why it just makes sense for you to participate in building a business for yourself. So if you get nothing else from this webinar, I hope the next few minutes are very valuable for you. We'll start with concept number 1. It's the Cashflow Quadrant. You've probably heard of Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Well, he also came up with this concept of the cash flow quadrant. And really what the cash flow quadrant does is it shows us how wealth is generated, how it's created and how it's generated. And there are 4 quadrants, 2 on the left and 2 on the right. And we start on the left side of the cash flow quadrant with the E quadrant, and that stands for employee. And that, of course, is how most people generate their income. They get themselves a job, they go to work, and in return for the hours that they put into that job, they receive either a weekly wage or a monthly salary. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with having a job, but what we do know is that you're not going to be creating wealth for yourself if you're an employee. Why? Because you're actually creating wealth for the business owner or the company or the business that you're employed by. That's who you're creating wealth for. The other challenge is that you're the focal point of the income. In other words, you have to turn up for work day after day after day after day, week after week after week, month after month, year after year, in order to continue getting paid. And if you can't go to work, maybe you're sick or ill or something like that, then the income stops. Or if you get made redundant and the job stops, the income stops. So it's not a very safe place to be. The S quadrant stands for being self-employed. Now, sometimes people are employees first and then they become self-employed. Other times people just self-employ themselves straight away from leaving college or university. And being self-employed might sound more exciting than being an employee, and I guess it gives you a little bit of freedom, but it also has its own challenges. Why? Because you're the focal point of income generation. As a self-employed person, every single thing is dependent on you. You have to find your customers. You have to deliver your product or service. You have to invoice the customer. You have to collect the cash from the customer. You have to do all the follow-up with the customer and the customer service. All of that stuff has to be done by you as an individual if you're a self-employed person. So if we look at the left side of the cash flow quadrant, what we find is that if you're on the left side, you're not alone, because 95% of the population around the world is on the left side of the cash flow quadrant. But here's the challenge. Only 5% of the wealth is created on the left side, because people here are exchanging time for money, trading their time for money. Let's move to the right side. The first quadrant here is the B quadrant for business owner. This is very different from being self-employed. This concept is all about taking the concepts that are used by big businesses and using them to become a business owner. For example, McDonald's. Think about this. Do they have one great big McDonald's outlet that we all drive to get our burger and chips fix every weekend or every day or however frequently we go there? No, they don't. They have thousands of outlets around the world. They've replicated their concept and they generate income from all of those outlets. There's no one person that's the focal point of income generation. And that's the concept that we've got here. We're going to show you how you can create leverage in your own business without jeopardizing whatever it is that you're currently doing to generate income. And then the fourth quadrant is the I quadrant, the investor quadrant. And this is often where people who have been business owners take the money that they've made from their business and invest it to make more money. Well, the challenge with being an investor right now is first and foremost that returns are quite low, so you have to have a lot of money to invest to get a decent return. And secondly, you have to have money, obviously, to invest to make money. Not everybody is in that position. But if we look at the right side of the cash flow quadrant, what do we find? The exact opposite to the left side, because only 5% of the population are here, yet 95% of the wealth is generated on this side. Why? Because of the concept of leverage. It's either leveraging a business concept to generate own income as a business owner or leveraging money to make more money. That's the cash flow quadrant. Concept number 2 is the 45-year plan. Now pay attention here, because if you're on the left side of the cash flow quadrant, you're either an employee or a self-employed person, chances are you're on this 45-year plan. And here's how it works. Typically, we leave college or university these days in our mid-20s. And it's usually in the early stages of our career that we see the most growth in income. We get the highest percentage increases. We're willing to work harder to get those promotions. We don't have the overheads of a family or a home. and we tend to work harder in that phase. And then from about our mid-30s onwards, what happens for most people is income goes into stability mode. Now, that doesn't mean there's not the odd annual increase and you've got the opportunity of promotion maybe, but for the majority of people, income is pretty stable. And then we get towards retirement and we start looking forward to retirement. Why do we look forward to retirement? Because we can suddenly see the light at the end of the tunnel. We can see that we're going to be able to do some of the things that we want to do instead of going to work every day. We're going to be able to play golf if that's what we want to do. We're going to be able to take some of those trips or those holidays that we might want to go on. Maybe we can spend more time with the grandchildren. But from an income standpoint, what typically happens? Income goes into decline. Why? Because most people haven't got enough in their pension fund, or the pension fund is not performing, or they haven't got enough in their savings. So instead of having that nice lifestyle that they've been looking forward to in retirement, they end up having to continue going to work to generate income to maintain their lifestyle. And this is also called the 40-40-40 plan. You may have heard of that. And the 40-40-40 plan is where you go to work for about 40 hours a week on average for about 40 years of your life to end up living on about 40% of what you couldn't really afford to live on when you were working. Now, does that sound like a plan? Not a very effective plan. We're going to show you an alternative, a 3 to 5 year plan that can change your financial future. You have to be prepared to do the work that's required. The great news is that you can fit it in alongside what you're currently doing. We can help you get off that 45-year plan. And the third concept is the concept of wants and desires. You see, we all have our own circle of wants and desires, all the things that we would like to have if money wasn't an object. And I tend to like to ask people the question, if you won the lottery tomorrow, what would you do with the money? And you know, the sad thing is that every single person who is probably not going to win the lottery, by the way, but every single person knows the answer to that question. They've all got things that they would do if they won the lottery. For some people, of course, it's getting out of debt, paying off the credit cards, or clearing the mortgage. For other people, it's having time freedom, being able to quit their job and go and play golf or do what they want to do. For other people, it's just knowing they've got financial security, knowing that they don't have to worry about money anymore. For other people, it's about upgrading the house or maybe buying a bigger house, maybe even buying a second home somewhere. For other people, it's getting a new car or getting cars for all the family. For other people, it's taking some of those holidays, maybe that cruise that they've never been able to afford before, go on some of those luxury holidays. For others, it might be upgrading their wardrobe. And of course, for some people, it's more than the materialistic things. It's about contribution to church or charity. So we all have this great big circle of wants and desires, the things that we really want in life, but we also have a second circle. And you've probably guessed what that second circle is. It's a smaller circle, and it's the income circle. For most people, the income circle is much smaller than the wants and desires, and that's why they end up playing the lottery. So my challenge or my question to you is, would you rather do what most people do, which is shrink your wants and desires to fit in the income circle that's smaller and maybe never get what you really are looking for in life? Or does it make more sense to increase your income so that you can get some of those wants and desires and you don't have to rely on winning the lottery? Well, that's what we're going to show you today as well. So we're going to show you how to get from the left side to the right side of the cash flow quadrant, how to become a business owner and create leverage. We're going to show you how to get off that 45-year plan if that's what you're on. And we're going to show you how you can increase your income to get some of those wants and desires without jeopardizing anything. You see, this is something that fits in alongside what you're currently doing. You have to put some work in, but you don't have to quit your job or give up your business. And what else do we know? Well, we know this. We know that everyone knows that you can make money by providing a solution to a problem. It's called problem seek, problem solve. And of course, the bigger the problem, the bigger the income potential. So what's the big problem that needs solving? Well, we've already seen it in that headline from the Daily Mail. It's the overweight and obesity epidemic. It's big and it's getting bigger. And it's not just applicable to the UK. You can see from this slide that 52% of people around the world are overweight. It's a global epidemic and in fact a global opportunity. But the UK finds itself the fattest country in Western Europe, and that's horrific. 64%, 2 out of every 3 people, as we've said, are overweight or obese in the UK, and that's 33 million people right here, right now. And being overweight is linked to all sorts of illnesses. More and more people are being diagnosed as type 2 diabetics. High blood pressure, heart disease is a big killer, stroke, joint and back problems, and of course cancer. I don't know whether you've heard on the radio recently, but it seems to be on there every time I listen to the radio. And it says, there's a little advert that's running. I don't know whether it's really an advert or a message, but it's running, and it says, hey, what's the biggest or second biggest contributor to cancer? It begins with O and ends in Y, and it's obesity. And that's a big challenge, and it leads to many other diseases. It leads to lower life expectancy and a poor quality of life. And in fact, it's an epidemic that's costing the UK government a fortune. It's costing us £54 billion a year, and it's crippling the National Health Service. And the government simply doesn't have a comprehensive strategy to deal with this particular challenge. So what's the solution? Well, we know the solution is not more of the same. The old failed approaches simply don't work. People are fed up of those fad diets. They're fed up of the yo-yo diets where they lose some weight, put the weight back on, lose the weight, and they're up and down and up and down. That gives temporary results, but it causes even greater problems for the future. And the nation continues to get fatter and sicker. So what we have is a different solution. Zen Project 8, launched by a $5 billion corporate giant, is a new and different approach to health and also to weight management and fat loss. And it's positioned in the $3.7 trillion global wellness market. That's a market that's 3 times larger than the pharmaceutical industry. And here's another important factor. We talked about timing at the beginning of this presentation, but if you want to be successful in business, you want to be in a big global market. Why? Because if the market is enormous, then you only need to take a small percentage share of that market to do very well financially. So for opportunity, that's certainly the place to be. And what's the fastest growing segment in the health and wellness market? Well, it's healthy eating, it's nutrition, and it's weight loss. And of course, that's exactly where we're positioned here with Zen Project 8. And we're announcing the end of diets. You see, this is very different from what has been on the market before, because with diets, most people are encouraged to restrict their food intake. This is exactly the opposite. People are probably going to be eating more frequently with Zen Project 8, but eating properly, because it's all about eating protein, fats, and carbohydrates in the right configuration every 3 hours, and then supporting that with the Zen Project 8 nutritional system. You see, with Zen Project 8, you get to eat the foods that you love in conjunction with the cutting-edge Zen nutritional products. Your body will balance naturally, you won't feel hungry, and you'll lose excess fat. And we have testimonials from all over the world. You can see some testimonials. We've got too many to show you here, but we'll just show you a few of the testimonials. And Zen Project 8 has 3 phases: the detox phase, the ignite phase, and the thrive phase. And we have some great menus that you can choose from through all 3 of those different phases. So this is not about depriving yourself of food. And Zen Project 8 has been created by internationally renowned nutritionist, health expert, New York Times bestselling author Mark McDonald. He's really the ambassador of Zen Project 8. He's had his own CNN TV show. He's been on TV all over the world. This is a different concept. And in every country open to Zen, people are having success. They're having success in terms of losing weight, and the people that are taking Zen Project 8 to market as partners with the company are having some great financial results as well. You see, this isn't on trial. I said before that this is backed by a $5 billion company that we're going to look at in a minute, but this is already proven. Zen Project 8 will do somewhere in the region of $40 million in sales this year. It's not on trial, but now it's available in the UK, and you have the opportunity to be part of the team that's taking it to market. That represents opportunity, because we know that people are looking for answers. They're looking for a new and different way to lose weight and stay healthy. And that's exactly where the opportunity lies. So out of the 33 million people in the UK, do you think you could find a few who want to lose weight and be healthy? If I ask you now, can you think of 5 people that either need or want to lose weight? Could you name those 5 people? Well, I guess you could probably name more than 5. Well, it's that simple, really, to start a successful Zen business, because we all know people that need to lose weight, or we know people who know people that need to lose weight. And we're going to teach you exactly how to find customers and exactly how to build a successful, long-term, sustainable business. And we're taking to market the Zen 30-day kickoff package. This is what customers will be buying. They'll be paying £199 for the Zen 30-day kickoff package, and that includes a selection of the Zen products, plus a booklet that takes them through the 3 different phases that I spoke about: the detox, the ignite, and the thrive phase. And in addition to that, we've created, and this is exclusive to the Global Home Business team, we've created a free audio program, which is valued at about the same sort of price as the package. So we're not just selling product packages to people, we're providing them with all the support they need to get results. We want people to get results. We want people to lose weight. We want to rid the UK of this epidemic, this obesity epidemic. A little bit about the company behind Zen Project 8. It's a company called Jeunesse Global, and it's an incredible success story. They're based in Lake Mary, just up the road from Orlando. This is their international headquarters, about 150,000 square feet. They're operating in about 146 countries around the world. They have 30 offices around the world, more than 800 corporate staff, and they've been incredibly successful. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the success. But the company was founded by Randy Ray, Wendy Lewis, and Scott Lewis. And Randy Ray's claim to fame is he was the person who sold the software program to NASA for launching the space shuttle. He made millions and millions of dollars from that transaction. And Wendy Lewis is recognized as one of the most successful and entrepreneurial ladies in direct sales. And Scott Lewis is our Chief Visionary Officer. He goes around the world promoting Zen Project 8 and the rest of the Jeunesse Global product portfolio. But look at the revenue growth year after year. If you want to partner with a company, partner with a successful company. This company launched in September 2009. In the first full year, you can see they did $30 million in sales. But look what happened after that. They doubled in sales year after year after year. And by year 6 in 2015, they became a $1 billion company in terms of annual revenues, the fastest company in direct sales history to get to $1 billion in annual sales. And that puts them in the company of companies like eBay and Amazon and Facebook, who took that sort of time frame to get to $1 billion. They became the 18th largest direct sales company in the world in 2015, after only being in business for 6 years. Then they grew to $1.4 billion, and we're about that right now. We're about $1.5 billion a year, but the goal is to be a $3 billion company by 2020, and then grow to become a $10 billion company. The goal is to be the #1 company in direct sales. And that's exciting. Why? Because now it's 2018, a lot of the groundwork has been done. This is not on trial. This is a $1 billion a year company. You have the opportunity to take Zen Project 8 to address the obesity epidemic that we have in the UK right now, and build a business as this company drives towards $3 billion and beyond. I think that's a very, very exciting opportunity. So what do? Well, 2 very simple things. If you partner with us, there's only 2 things you need to really do. First of all, we find some of those 33 million people that want to lose weight. We introduce them to Zen Project 8. In other words, we find some customers, and there's lots of them out there. And the second thing we do is we have the opportunity to share the income opportunity with other people, and we can build a team. There's no obligation to do that, but you have an opportunity to build a team. So we introduce people to the product, and we introduce people to the financial opportunity. Very, very simple concept. And we have 6 different ways that we can earn income with this company. Now, I'm not going to get into the detail of this. I'm going to get into a little bit of detail on the first 2 ways we make money, but there's much more to it than the two ways that I'm going to explain. But let's have a look at the first way we can make money. This is the traditional way in business of making money. It's retail profit. So if you become a Zen Project 8 partner, you're able to buy that 30-day kickoff package we spoke about at the wholesale price. Now, the wholesale price is $157.50. Remember what we said was we take it to market and a retail customer will buy that from you at £199. There's a difference of £41.50. That's the retail profit. You keep that difference. And there's no limit to how many people you can introduce to the Zen 30-day kickoff package. Obviously, every time you find a customer that wants to buy that, that's going to pay you £41.50. The second way we generate income is through what we call the retail sales bonus. Remember, we said you find customers, and then if you wish to, you can introduce other people and you can start building a team, and that starts to create a little bit of leverage. So here, for example, you've introduced a new team member. Now she's going to need some products to get started, so she buys 6 of the Zen 30-day kickoff packages so she can go out and start finding her customers. Well, you're going to get paid a retail sales bonus on that order that she places. That is, in this example, $240, which is about £180. So you can make money quickly by finding customers, and you can make money quickly by starting to build a team. The exciting thing is that if we were to look at the third way you make money, you start to earn income from the team as that team starts to build and as it starts to grow and develop. And that's a really exciting income that you need to find out about. That creates the leveraged income that we spoke about. That creates the larger incomes for those that want to get really serious. But let me give you a quick example. Let me give you an example, a very simple example. Let's say you become a Zen Project 8 partner with us and you go out and you find 5 customers that are buying that 30-day kickoff package, and then you introduce 6 other people, so you've got a very small team of people and they do the same as you and they introduce 5 customers. In that example, you'd be making more than £1,000 a month. That's not bad as a little part-time income, just a few hours a week invested into your business. Step 2, let's imagine that you get 10 customers and now you've extended your team just a little bit. You've now got 8 distributors. They do the same as you. They've got 10 customers each. Well, that's going to pay you, close to £3,000 a month. That's a nice part-time income. For some people, that would be a pretty good full-time income. And then if we look at step 3, let's say you now grow your customer base. We're going to show you how to do that. Let's say you grow that to 20 customers. Now your team has extended to 10 distributors and you've got 20 customers and they've got 20 customers each. Well, that would be over £6,000, nearly £7,000 a month. That's over £80,000 a year. And that's just really the start, because if that team continues to grow, that income can continue to grow as well. You're not restricted just to the people that you personally introduce. Your team includes the people that they introduce as well, and that's very exciting. But this is not just about the money. We have a lifestyle rewards program because this is about lifestyle. It's about living a different lifestyle than most people who have to turn up for work day after day after day for the rest of their lives on that 45-year plan. We have something called the Emerald Experience. The Emerald Experience, if you reach the Emerald position, the company is going to take you and a partner, all expenses paid, to the Grand Wailea Resort in Hawaii. It's a fabulous trip and a fabulous reward. They're going to pay for your flights, they're going to pay for your accommodation, they're going to pay for your food, they're going to pay for the entertainment. It's a remarkable trip. It's a lifestyle trip. And if you work a little bit harder, and this takes a little bit longer, but if you work harder and get to the diamond position, then you get some incredible rewards. And they have a diamond trip every year. We've been to South Africa, we've been to Tahiti, we've been on a cruise of the Greek islands and Italy, we've been to Switzerland, and next year I think we're going back to Tahiti as well. It's an incredible trip. And then we have incentive trips that you can earn. So we've taken people to Dubai, people to Cancun. We had a cruise to Alaska. 3,000 people went on the cruise to Alaska. They needed 4 ships. And the current incentive trip is to Bali. So if you want a trip, all expenses paid, and all expenses paid holiday to Bali, you can earn that here by doing a little bit of work to build your own business. And we have a business development process to help you. So we're going to teach you and help you to, first of all, launch your business. We're going to help you acquire customers. We have a process for acquiring customers. We're going to teach you how to retain those customers, because you're looking to then obtain referrals to other customers, and then finally convert some of those customers into team members. So we have a step-by-step process that we will teach you. In addition to that, we have all the training and supports free of charge that you need. We have a Start Right, Start Fast training platform, both online and offline, available for you to tap into. We have a proven marketing process for helping you develop your business. We have an online marketing system. So you have websites to promote the product, you have websites to promote the business. We have all the automated emails that are built in to follow up your prospects in that system for you. That's all included. And we have a full suite of done for you marketing materials. So you can see some of them on this slide. We have booklets, we have brochures, we have postcards, we have business cards, everything you need to be successful. We also have, as we said, the Zen audio program. We want customers to get success, so you can give the Zen audio program away free of charge. We have training webinars and online training resources, and we now have these daily Zen overview presentations. You don't have to explain the opportunity to people. You can bring them to this very webinar and we will do the job for you. So really everything you need is at hand right now. And we talked at the beginning of the webinar about timing. The timing is right for Zen Project 8. Everything is ready. The only person we need is you. So don't let this moment pass. If you can see some possibilities, please get back to the person who invited you to be on this webinar. Book a call with that person. Discuss the getting started options. We have a number of different options depending on your budget and your seriousness. So discuss the getting started options. They'll help you get your questions answered as well. So with that, I'm going to conclude this webinar. I'm Cliff Walker. I want to thank you for joining us. We're here to support you in building your own Zen Project 8 business. Thanks for joining us. That concludes today's live webinar.